Hello, in this session we will talk about more examples of inner and outer joins. This is Hassan Mir from 02protraining.com. So these are the types of joins. We have talked about cross joins, which is the Cartesian product of the two tables. We have talked about inner join, and we have talked about outer joins. And outer joins have types: left outer join, right outer join. We have talked about those as well, and we still have to talk about full outer join. So in this session we will do another example of right and left outer join from the other side, so that you can understand the concept fully before we go to the full outer join. I'm connected to SAP HANA Studio. Let's take a look at the tables we will be using in our examples. So we have a student table. Right click on the student table and choose open content. You can see we have records of 4 students. All of them belong to team 1 and 1 of them belong to team 2. And if I right click on team table and choose open content, you can see we have data for 3 teams. So in the previous session we did an example. We wanted to see the list of all the teams along with the list of members within the team. So if I close the 2 windows that I just opened up to view the content, I'll be back to my SQL editor. So these are the SQL we created in the previous session. So if you look at this second SQL, we are joining the 2 tables, student and team, and we are selecting team names and first names of the students. And this is the inner join. If I quickly do a recap for the inner and outer join so that we can move forward. So inner join is giving you the list of all the teams along with the list of members within those teams. This is just perfect, but we also wanted to see those teams in the results that do not have any members, that is team 3. So that's why we created the outer join. And if I run the outer join, it will give me the same result as the inner join, but the difference is it will also give me those teams that do not have any members, that is team 3. Now let's go to the student table and let's take a look at the records again. Okay, so let's add one more record. Right click on student table, generate and insert statement. Okay, so we have a 5th person coming in, ID 5, first name and the last name. First name Warren and last name Buffett. Okay, and the date joined 2012-0101, and the ID of the team. Which team does this person belong to? We have team 1, team 2 and team 3. So let's say this person doesn't belong to any team for now. So it all depends on your business model. So let's say in this case a student does not have to belong to a team. So you can put a not null constraint on this team ID column here. So that way I'll be forced to enter team ID. But in this case we don't have a not null constraint. So I can leave this column null, meaning a student may not belong to any team. So let's run this insert statement. It is successful, no red line. So if I go back to the previous window that was showing me the contents of students, let's refresh this window. So now we have a 5th student not belonging to any team. Now if I go back to the SQL editor, and this is the SQL that I created in the previous session, the outer join. This is the one that was giving me the list of teams and the list of students, and also this was showing me the teams that were empty. What will happen if I run this statement now? Will there be any difference? Let's find out, and then we'll go from there. So let me run this statement, and you see there is no difference. There is no change in the output because this SQL is addressing a total different need. My need was I needed list of the teams along with the members in those teams, and this was the result. So I created a new student. He doesn't belong to any team, so he's not part of this result. Let's say my query changes. Now I want to find out list of all the students as well as the teams to which they belong to. How would you go about making the modification to the SQL that you just ran? Let's first modify the inner join, and then we will see what to do with the outer join. So I need to know the list of all the students. Let's say for now I'm only interested in the first names, as well as the list of the teams they belong to. So this is it. All I'm going to do is swap the column names around, and this will give me what I want. So first name I'm selecting from a student table, name I'm selecting from team table, and both are joined using inner join, and the joining column is team ID and the ID column of the team. So if I run this statement, this is what I wanted. However, this is not showing me those students that do not belong to any team, and that's where the outer join will come in to the picture. Okay, now I'm going to copy this outer join and modify this. So now I want to see first names first and then the names of the teams. So the left keyword here is the keyword that is doing the magic. So you always put the left keyword or the right keyword depending on where the table is located that will be having extra records that are unable to be matched on the other side. So here the left keyword is indicating that team is the table that will be having extra records, like those teams that do not have any members. But now we are interested in the extra records in the student table. So we are also wanting to pick up those students that do not belong to any team. So all we're going to do is change the left to the right, and this will give us what we wanted. So now you can see the list of the students along with the names of the teams to which they belong to, and we are also getting those students that do not belong to any team. Okay, and simple change of a keyword will change the whole logic. So if I change this right to left, it will change the whole logic, and now you will get those teams that do not have any students. So now you can understand the outer join, and it's important that you also know outer join from one direction is different than the outer join from the other direction. So if I go back to the SQL and change left back to the right, and let's verify if we are back to square one. Perfect. And let's go back to the SQL editor and copy this statement down again. I just want to show you, or just a quick recap of right and left concept. So I've changed right back to left, but this time I'm swapping the table names. So student is now on the right side and team is on the left side. So both the two statements will bring me the same result. You can see the last statement is bringing me the same result, and the second last statement will bring me the same result. Okay, so again, right and left depends on which side the table is located that has extra records. So in this session you have seen some more examples of right and left outer joins, and this time we totally reversed the direction of the outer joins that we saw in the previous session. Now it's a good time to go to the next topic, which is a full outer join, and that is what we will discuss in the next session.